What's going on, everybody? Back with another video. As I'm recording this, we are currently in the final quarter of the Cleveland Cavaliers versus Toronto Raptors games. The Cavs are playing their final game of the first half. I'm not going to put too much stock into it simply because, the Raptors are not a good team. I think they're 20 games sub 500. And obviously the Cavs are who they are this year. So I expect us to hold on to this game, obviously, and head into the break at 44-10. I mean, this season has been awesome. I don't want to call it a fever dream because I had high expectations for this team. I had them making the Eastern Conference Finals before the season, and I still stand by that, regardless of the outcome and how many dark horse Eastern Conference teams that there could be in terms of threats. But a franchise best 15-0 to start the season, you gotta love that. You gotta love the chemistry that's being built between Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, who reportedly they had tensions last year. A lot of people felt like they should break it up. They were underachieving. Jarrett Allen, was he gonna want to stay longer? Evan Mobley, how is he gonna live up to his full potential? Because he got a lot of flack in previous years for that. So, and also, I mean, my biggest takeaway, despite these four having amazing chemistry, despite these four doing everything in their power to make the Cavs win games that, either they came from behind in or they just straight up blew off the door. The defense, I mean, yeah, they went through a recent stretch where they just were terrible. They were looking for a wing defender, and they ended up getting, one in DeAndre Hunter. They've been doing a good job. I mean, he's fit in really well. He's been making threes. Even in this game, he's been raining threes all over the court. And, he's been fitting in really well. So, I expect this defense to be better, and also the offense he fits right in. So, I expect in the second half, the chemistry is only going to continue to develop. And then this elite offense, man, none can be said about them. 122.5 points per game. That's third in the NBA. To be honest, I don't remember who's ahead of us, but that's something to be very proud of. Second best record in the NBA, I believe. And then I feel like, honestly, I expect this chemistry to, of course, develop continuously. Even Charles Barkley, he was saying, like, the Cavs, they overtook Boston for him because of this move. So I feel like this can be a bigger move than even Cavs fans are feeling. And I guess other NBA fans that just feel like, Boston's bored. They don't really have a threat. And honestly, I don't blame them for thinking that way, man, especially with the way that they looked against us. And, they beat us, like, pretty good. I know that it was a 7-point game, but in that first quarter, they beat us pretty good, and they caught us on a very, very bad night to open up. And in spite of everything, we still hung in there. So, I think the best thing is that we can do is just beat Boston in late February when we go there. And then, it is what it is. But speaking to the Coach of the Year candidate for me, man, Kenny Atkinson in his first season, bringing, as I've said 1,000 times, he's bringing a faster pace, which involves a lot more ball movement. He is basically showing what he took away from Golden State, and that's why, the Cavs, if you watch them, they look very, very reminiscent to how the Warriors did in their first run. And the best part about it all, something that we didn't have with John Beeline, something we didn't have with JB Bickerstaff, is the players are responding very, very well. And this is exactly the guy that they needed. I know they were between James Borrego, Kenny Atkinson. I'm very, very glad they chose Coach Atkinson. He's a very good coach, and honestly, I think he's the Coach of the Year. To do this in your first season, to implement a new system, and have just everybody just bought in, I think that deserves a lot of credit from Cavs fans. And, I'm so proud of Coach. And, I can't wait to see how this team just continues to get better. Obviously, a long second half to go. But, the first half, you can't really be negative about it. The only thing you could be negative about is, like, damn, we didn't have a chance to break that 73-9 record. And I honestly was not really sold on that. I know we went through a really rough patch where we lost 3 in a row. They've only lost back-to-back twice, and that was to Atlanta early in the season, and then obviously Philadelphia and Houston twice. So that's a tough one. Could we see Houston in the finals again? I believe we can absolutely see them in the finals. But to be bought into this system, man, it feels great. It's awesome. It's truly something that we as fans, we really needed. One thing is, like, why did Donovan stay back? They felt that he should have been moved out, or he felt like he maybe he was going to the Knicks and whatnot. That was all the narratives. But, he believes in these guys. He believes in Darius Garland. He believes in Evan Mobley in spite of what the media said, in spite of the tension that was, present, I guess. But, everybody's responding well, and that's what I love to see, man. But, it's all about these players at the end of the day. Donovan Mitchell, he's been clutch all season. He overcame a really bad stretch that was in that 3-game losing streak. He was pretty dreadful during that stretch, but also in the OKC game. He was like what? He made like 2 shots the entire game, 1 field goal. That's not his standard, obviously, but they still ended up winning the game, which was awesome. It kind of sucked that in the second game against OKC they got their butts absolutely whooped, but still, this is still a great basketball team. This is still, honestly, if I'm being honest with you, man, the Cavs, they kind of remind me of, I don't want to say the Warriors again, but they kind of give me those Celtic vibes in the sense like they play a similar style. It's a lot of, one-on-one, not really too much ISO, but they move the ball, they spread it well, and again, the Celtics are the defending champs, so I don't blame anybody for saying, oh, they're the team to beat. I still think they're the team to beat. That's the standard that obviously the Cavs are chasing because they want to get where the Celtics got last year. But, for Donovan Mitchell to be the anchor of this team, this is an awesome thing to see. And then Darius Garland, he's been spreading the floor. He's been a floor general, along with being herky-jerky with himself. 10 assists per game. Gotta love it, man. Evan Mobley, everybody saw when he was injured what the Cavs looked like defensively. Absolutely pathetic and dreadful. But, yeah, he's been an anchor all the time. And then Jarrett Allen, he's a stud. And honestly, I think he was snubbed from the All-Star game. I thought that he should have made that team. I don't know how you can look at him. There's a lot of great players. I feel like what they gotta do with the All-Star game, man, they gotta add like a few spots and then, because same thing with Trae Young. I know he's an All-Star because of, I think, Giannis's injury. A lot of injuries, yeah, but I still felt like some of these guys, like Kyrie even, I felt like he should have been an All-Star. I feel like Jarrett Allen should have been an All-Star. I feel like he should be going to San Francisco, the Bay Area with these guys. And, yeah, that's pretty much my biggest take on it. I feel like all 4 of these guys have put exceptional seasons together. Their best seasons as of, their careers. And, yeah, I'm super proud of these guys, man. But these are the stars. These are the anchors of your 2024 Cavs. And, yeah, I couldn't be more proud of these guys. But a look at the second half, man. The biggest matchup for me, obviously, is our biggest threat in the Eastern Conference, the Boston Celtics. The matchup against them on February 28th, that's going to be a big measuring stick. And I said this after we lost to Boston just 4 games ago. I expect us to go 4-0 the rest of the games in the All-Star because we've had 4 games since then, and we are going to win all 4. Obviously, as this Raptors game wraps up, we're going to win all 4, which is great. So going the break at 44-10, which was the best case scenario after losing to Boston, that's great. They're winning games that they should. But I'm not going to lie to you. I said, man, even if we do that, that loss to Boston, man, it's still going to stick with me. And, it still does. It still hurts because, I felt like that was a good statement that you could have made at home. But thanks to an awful first quarter, that just didn't happen. And then, you got the defending champions in your building, and they just took it to you, man. So my biggest thing is road games versus top teams. That's going to be a big test for us. These blowout wins against, the Raptors and everything, and, pretty much every, I guess, lower-tier team, and even some of the big ones that we've blown out, it's been, it is a little concerning. I really want to see I just want to see a battle-tested unit, and, because a lot of the times, the Cavs, when they were making their runs in the mid-2010s, they would skate through the East, and then the finals, you would see how tough it'd be. And I think that's a testament to how strong the West was at the time, and even now, still, the West is much stronger, and the Cavs have only lost, I believe they've lost, 3 games to the West. Yeah, I know they lost to Houston twice, and they lost to Oklahoma City, so they've been doing really well against the East, don't get me wrong, or the West, rather. They've been doing really well against the West, but I still want to see a little bit more. I still want to see, some tough, grinded-out games, and it's going to be important for us to stay sharp at, heading into the postseason, man. It's going to be, the second half is usually when the legit contenders, they really show that they're legit, and they show that they're for real, and the road games versus the top teams are going to be They're gonna be a tough task for us, but I think we're ready for it. And, I believe that we're going to do it. And I know Levert's in this picture. He is not on the Cavs anymore, obviously. I'd say we got a pretty good return so far. I mean, DeAndre Hunter's been looking like a stud from three, and he's been doing very, very well. And I only expect it to get better, man, in this system. So, super proud of these dudes, man. But here's what I want to see personally. You got to beat Boston. That's my number one thing. Beat Boston like February. Send a message like, hey, the series is tied 2-2. Like, okay, it's not gonna be easy. You can't be bored forever. I mean, I know Kendrick Perkins. He said Boston's bored heading into the playoffs. So I want to see, them show a message. And I want to see some battle-tested games. These blowout losses, like as I said, it's kind of a concern for me because I want to see just this team face more adversity. And I'm not saying that they haven't played anybody. I'm not like that. I'm just saying I want to see these teams I want to see this team just grind out games and prove that they're mentally tougher than everybody else, man, which I think they are. So stay healthy, build the chemistry, especially DeAndre Hunter. Bring him into this new system, show him what it's all about, and lock in that number one seed. It would be awesome, even if we head into the playoffs, even if we lose to Boston. I think them getting a number one seed opportunity, you at least go in the playoffs with home court advantage, and you see a little bit more. So regardless, man, I'm so proud of this team. We got to keep it going. This is my favorite basketball team. I love all the Cavs teams I've seen that go far in the playoffs and everything, but this is my favorite team of all time. The 2024 Cavaliers, 2024-2025 Cleveland Cavaliers, they're my favorite basketball team of all time, and I expect this to just continue in the second half. And for those of you guys that are still counting out the Cavs, saying they're regular season merchants, I don't want to see in the playoffs y'all hop on the bandwagon and say, damn, this team is legit. Stay where you're at, because I got receipts. I'm telling you that right now. I got receipts, and I don't want to see y'all in the bandwagon lane. But that's all I got to say, man. 44-10 for your Cleveland Cavaliers in the first half. Love to see it, and let's just keep it going. I forgot who we opened up again. I believe it's the Nets. Yeah. So Jarrett Allen's former team. Yeah. So I feel like that's a good start. I guess it'll be a good rust, shake off, see if they come out strong. I think they will, but I'm excited to see how these guys do in San Fran too, man, as all-stars, these three amazing players that we got, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley. I'm excited to see what they look like. Jarrett Allen should be there, but it is what it is. So enjoy the break. 44-10, going to the break at the first seed. Can't be any happier, man. And it's going to be a fun week off, but hopefully we'll get back at it, and these Cavs, they're going to come out hotter than ever, hopefully, and shake off that rust and keep it going, man. So, love to see it. Go Cavs, as always. Let them know, or I guess not the best, but my favorite basketball team of all time. I got to say that. 2024, 2025 Cavs, my favorite team of all time. And anyway, you guys have a great one. Go Cavs, and I'll see you guys next time.